Digimon World. Next order.
Hello and welcome to the final part of Digimon World Next Order. Season 3. What am I on? Yeah, Season 3. Mostly because I just I learned about this 2 weeks ago. That there's apparently a Digimon World Next Order randomizer. And I sure would like to get started on that. But I wanted to set the tone for today's video. I just got back, not just, but wait, so I forgot this game has time. Hold on. So I was in California for a week. I traveled for my job, for the work, the not YouTube, and I traveled there to support a game launch. I work at WB Games. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's in the description of every video if you missed it. And I have been so fucking busy for 2 weeks and I've been doing so much that I can no longer. I feel like Barbossa in the first Pirates of the Caribbean, where he like walks out into the moonlight and he like tries to take a bite of an apple and just like he says it tastes like ash. Like that's how video games feel like to me right now. Where I'm like, I have so many video games to play, I have so many videos to record, and I am so stressed that I just like can't pick up any of them. And then I remembered I hadn't recorded a video in a couple weeks, and I was like, oh right, aren't videos like therapeutic for me because I just bitch and moan about my life the whole time? I wonder if there's a correlation here. So that's what we're doing. I was like, what video do I dump all of my problems in? And I was like, well, obviously it'll be Digimon. Those are the people who will watch anything. So sorry, real quick. I'm gonna change my monitors because I'm getting some screen tearing right now. I didn't notice it until I started moving around. Okay, this should be okay. I'm not in a good spot. I think I kind of had the realization that I like might be getting depressed, and I was like, I should stop that. So I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? So I remembered that depression isn't real, and but yeah, it's just been a lot. I'm learning a lot about myself. Why did the music go away for that? Learning in the way of like, I take my job very seriously, and like I knew that, right? I knew I was a good worker. There was no doubt in my mind, but like maybe there was a little bit of doubt. I don't know. I thought I had a more lackadaisical approach to my job, but I think I was wrong. I don't remember how to get to faulty X Machina by foot. Where's the button? Is it select? No, that just recenters the camera, which is awful. I don't want to do that at all. What is the fucking map button? It's not trying. It's one of these buttons. It has to be. Oh, it's the touchpad. You. Okay, wait, hold on. Zoom out. Zoom in? Zoom out. Okay, isn't there a way to like get to a different... Alright, whatever. I've played this game so much, and I can't believe I don't remember where Faulty X Machina is. Hold on, let me walk through it in my head. So that's Server Desert. You take the path on the right, it'll take you to Agunia Wasteland, which you can go through to get to Boney Resort, which is a dead end. Oh wait, or you can go to Faulty X Machina. That's right, it's this way. And then the left, that's a dead end over there, and then that's a dead end over there. And over there is the forest part of Nye Plains, and then you get to, what is the black and white pirate area called? I forget, but you get there, and then you can walk through there to get to the other side of Faulty X Machina, which I think is why I instinctually was going that way, but I think we need to be in the front of Faulty X Machina for the story bit. Anyway, yeah, so this is going to be the last video of this. I didn't really finish Season 2 either. I think the only true season I did was Season 1, where I did every single thing in the entire game. I did all the DLC missions. I basically just kept going and going and going. So, you know, we'll call this one a wrap. But I wanted to talk about some of my some of the stuff that's been working on. I can't Like, I can't talk about specifics of my job because WB is very clear I can't do that. I've talked about this before, but they were like, when I first brought up the WB thing to HR, or not the WB thing, when I first brought up YouTube to HR, I was like, hey, so I have like a small YouTube channel. What are the rules? And they were like, okay, well, first of all, do you play video games? And I was like, yes. Like, for the channel, yes. And they were like, okay, you're not allowed to play any WB video games. I'm like, okay, I think I'll be okay with that. It's mildly annoying. There's some big releases where I think it would be fun to play some stuff in, but you know, them's the breaks. And then they were like, you're not allowed to talk about anything from your job at WB. And I was like, that makes sense. Okay. But that's, as for longtime viewers will remember, that's a little difficult for me because I used to talk about my job all the time. I used to dish so much on GameStop and working on the overnights and stuff like that. I used to, man, you couldn't shut me the fuck up about my job. So it's been a very long adjustment period. Like, I've worked for WB almost like 5 years now, so like I'm adjusted at this point. But oh, cool, this is still in play. All right, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, I just ended the video. The slightest amount of resistance, and I immediately stopped. All right, well, so we walked all this way for no reason. I didn't want to use the sender. I wanted to take the long way, but you're being a real dick about it, so we'll just go. Mod Cape, that's why I couldn't remember the name of it. Okay. But yeah, so I can't really talk in specifics, but I've been going pretty hard for a while here. Just working a game launch is just stressful, and there's just a lot of issues. I'll give you some nondescript parameters of why it's been stressful. So I traveled to California. It was my first work trip. Also the first time going to California since 2018. Like, I went to LA back then. I went to Burbank this time. Which I learned is just North LA, by the way, in case anyone was curious. I spent, this is embarrassing. I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. I knew I had to go to Burbank like a month ahead of time for the trip, and not once did I think to look where Burbank is in relation to everything else in California. And also, it hadn't really set into me how big of a state California was. Like, I'm from New England. And California is New England is a collection of, like, you know, several states. We're the Northeast. So when you look at America on the map, we're in the, if you're American, I know you know what this is, but just in case you're from the UK and don't give a shit, or you're from some other part of the world. That's right. Rather say this is worldwide. But I'm in the northeast corner of the United States. And California is in the southwest. So the furthest I could possibly go. I just, like, didn't realize the size difference. Like, California is fucking massive. By the way, if you hold down R1, you can skip through all dialogue. Also, I forgot how good the Digimon model in this game is. And by good, I mean mommy. Sorry. Mommy. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. Mommy. All right, anyway. But yeah, it's like the size of New England. So it's like the size of like 7 other states. So, like, I didn't really know that. And again, I didn't look up where Burbank is on the map. So I was like, is it in the middle of California, southern, northern? And like, I was like, they had like that thing on the plane where you can like see like the map and like where you're going in the destination. And I tried zooming in and I could not find Burbank. And I was like, I don't know where it is. Like, so until I landed in Burbank, I did not know where Burbank was. And I think that's funny. Okay. Okay. I can run the control room. Okay, so I might have to go all the way around. But I think that, yeah, the plot part is here. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, I didn't really know anything. Is really what I'm getting to here. I didn't know anything. I just sort of showed up, and I was by myself for my first work trip, across the country, like a good 3,000, 4,000 miles away, and it just kind of feels like Maybe someone should have gone there with me, or there should have been more prep or something, but I just, like, I felt very, like, thrown to the wolves. And it was pretty much either sink or swim. I do think I swam. I think I swam pretty well. We'll get to that in a little bit, but... so that was... I flew out on Sunday, and the game launched on a Tuesday. So I had, like, a day to, like, kind of, you know, get my shit together and stuff like that. Ooh, I learned Flash. Why couldn't anyone learn Flash? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that one. My bad. Yeah, sorry, I'm so bad at getting my thoughts together while things are happening. So yeah, I didn't know where I was going. Like, and I don't mean like Burbank. I mean, I arrived in Burbank, that was fine. I didn't know where the office was. So I had to get there super, super early. The game was launching at 4 a.m. Pacific time, which is what the local time was in California. So I had to wake up at 2 a.m. In my hotel, get everything ready, set out to leave at 3 a.m. I was under the impression it was walking distance. That later turned out to be somewhat true, but not the way I went around about it. And yeah, it was an experience. So I just assumed, well, I work at WB, so it must be somewhere near all the other WB stuff. So I go to the WB water tower. The famous one, you know, the one from the Animaniacs and stuff. It was pretty close to my hotel. So I like walked there, and I'm like messaging like the person, one of the people that I'm like supposed to be in contact with, and I was like, "Hey, so I'm here. Is that where I'm supposed to be?" And they were like, "Oh, you need to go get like a security badge made." And I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense. I have a badge for the office back that I normally work out of. That makes sense. So this should, you know, logically, I hear it. Sure." And then they were like, "Okay, you want to go to gate 3, and the water tower is at gate 4. This isn't. I think I can talk about this. It's public information. You can find this on Google Maps." But so I was like, "Okay." So I start walking at 3 a.m. Along the desolate streets of Burbank, a city known for its traffic, with not a single car in sight, not a single other person walking on the sidewalk. Thank fucking God. And I'm just wandering Burbank at 3 a.m. And it's like 70 and it's humid. I'm like, I'm like sweating because I'm nervous, because I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know if anything's gonna happen. I told this to my coworker, and he was just like, "Thank God you look like you." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true. I guess I don't really look like the most vulnerable person." So, is this the Skull Greymon fight? I think it is. So, like, I didn't feel like I was in danger or anything, but I was still uneasy. You didn't know this. The WB lot, surrounded by just normal ass houses, and I was like, I don't want to walk in like a residential area. This feels messed up. I don't want to get like reported to police or anything. So anyway, I'm walking to the next gate because remember, I have to go get my badge at gate 3, and I was at gate 4. So I just start walking left, because in my mind, that makes sense, right? They probably numbered them from left to right. So I keep walking, and eventually I get to gate 5, and I'm like, fuck. I went the wrong way. Fuck. So then I have to double back and walk even further. And I finally find gate 3, and it's just a fucking parking garage. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? So then I find gate 2, which is across the street from gate 3, which doesn't make sense. Why the fuck are gate 2 and 3 right next to each other, but then gate 4 and 5 are across the fucking world? So then I finally found a security office that was open, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for this place." And they're like, "Oh, you're in the wrong place." And then I called the person that I was in contact with, and I told them that, and they were like, "Oh, you're probably in the wrong place." And I was like, "I know, I've learned." And they were like, "Okay, you're gonna want to go to this." And then they were like, "Did nobody give you the address?" And I was like, "No, nobody gave me the address." So I then took an Uber to the proper address, which, guess what? Another gate. And this one didn't have security at it, even though I was assured security was supposed to be at that gate. I don't know if they like left to take a piss or something, but nobody was there. So then I'm just wandering around again. And then finally they're like, okay, we'll just come pick you up. It's like, where are you? And I like told them where I was. And like as I finished calling them, literally like 60 seconds later, a WB security like car, like specifically like WB security, comes up next to me. And I was like, and then I was like, oh, okay. They must have sent security for me. So I go to open the car, or I go to open the door of this security truck at 3 a.m. on the streets of Burbank with no badge. And the guy goes, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, whoa, I'm so sorry. Are you here to pick me up? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I am so sorry. I work for WB. I just got off the phone. Like I just got off the phone with them. They said they were going to come pick me up. I just assumed it was you because the timing matched up. I am so sorry. And they were like, do you have anything to prove you from WB? And I was like, no, I didn't bring my badge with me because I didn't think it would work here. So I didn't think it would need it. But now, and I didn't want to lose it. So like now I see the error of my ways. But like, and they were like, what about email? And I was like, I do have an email. And I pulled up my phone and I was like, here's my WB email. And they were like, do you have an ID too? And I was like, yes. So I go and do that. And I'm like, just like sitting there being like, I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. And then as they're like doing that, the other car pulls up. I'm like, this is them. This is the people I was waiting for that I told you about. Thank you. Sorry. And I get in with them and I finally get in the office sweating. And things started to work out. And then I worked a 16-hour shift. I think it's very important to tell the story that way. I did all of that and then worked for 16 hours because it was launch day. And to just in case anyone's worried, I am hourly, so I got paid handsomely for the 90-hour week I worked last week. I have not added up how many hours I've worked this week yet. It's over 40. But so then I worked a super long day. Didn't get out until super late. Ended up finally getting back to the hotel. I was just fucking exhausted. I basically just like passed out almost immediately. And then so that was that. And then the next day and the day after that went a lot more smoothly. The days were still kind of long. They weren't 16 hours long. They were like maybe like, like 10 hours long. But I didn't have to get up as early. I had to get up at like 8. So it was fine. But yeah, so then I met a lot of people. I think I made acquaintance friends or work friends with a lot of people. I met a lot. Had lunch with the CEO of WB Games by accident. That was pretty cool. Briefly. I don't know how much of this I can talk about. I think this part's fine. Because I don't think it involves my job or anything. It was just we went to go eat like on the like WB movie studio lot, and the CEO of WB Games happened to be there, and I was sitting next to 2 vice presidents, and like making conversation. Like I'm working directly with them on the game I'm working on, and so I was just and so they're like, oh, come over here and sit down. So then I'm just sitting with 2 vice presidents and a CEO, and I'm like, yep, I shouldn't be here. But I put on my best charm and made it through. The CEO left after like maybe a couple minutes, but I had lunch with both of the VPs, I think 2 days in a row. It was a good time. One of the VPs gave me like a personal tour, kind of. Not really. Like, so we were walking through the WB lot to get from basically from one entrance to where they like have lunch and stuff. And as we were walking through, they were pointing out like different things where it's like, oh, this is where they shot this thing, this is where they shot this thing. I didn't know this. There's basically like a hollow town on the WB movie studio lot, where they just like change the dressing and stuff outside of it to like for different shows or movies, whatever. And I'm like, that makes sense, obviously. Like they didn't build a set from scratch every time they need a new movie. Like when I hear it out loud, it makes sense. I just never thought about it. And he was like pointing stuff out to me, and he was like, and this is and this part here, they just like, what they tend to do here is they just change the lighting. That's how they change like what what time period it's set in. So it's like if they want to set it in this time period, then they'll use these kind of lights. If they want to do this, they'll do that. And I was like, this is actually super fucking interesting. So yeah, he was showing me around and stuff like that, and I learned a lot about the WB stuff, which I think is cool. Did I use a special move? I think I used the special ability by accident. I think I messed up. Not that I need it at this point. I think one more attack and they're gone. But yeah, so I had lunch with them both days. I think I behaved myself. I think I made myself. I think I made it funny. That came up later, where one of the VPs was asking if I could include the other one onto an email, onto a report that I have to send. Yeah, guys. If you didn't think my job was serious, I do reports. And they were asking if I could be added to it, and I hit him with yeah, of course, no problem. Or I said, or I think I said, no problem, but only because it's them. You know, this is a pretty exclusive list. You know, put on a little bit of that charm. And they replied, haha, thanks, Nick. I appreciate you making the exception. And I was like, oh shit. We're in there. I made those jokes. This is good. So, yeah, that went pretty well. I think this is the most I've talked about my job the entire time I've worked there. And I think I got away with not having to talk. Like, I don't think I said anything I couldn't. But, yeah, so then the California trip overall was pretty good. I'm not great at airplanes. Like, I'm not afraid of flying or anything. It's just that I'm massive. I'm 6'2", and I'm a big guy. I'll say it. It's fine. But, like, it's just, I've got big limbs, too. Like, I've got huge fucking legs, huge arms. Like, I feel so uncomfortable when I fly. Like, it's not designed for me. And it's like, it was paid for by WB, and I'm like, I genuinely was, like, thinking where I'm like, should I have paid for 2 seats just to have, like, more legroom? Like, would that have worked? But, ultimately, I don't think I could have gotten away with that. Like, I'm not big enough where I would need 2 seats. I fit in 1 seat. It's just, like, my fucking knees go up against that goddamn, like, the back of the seat in front of me. My left knee was hurting so fucking bad after both of my flights. Or after both of my, like, long flights. Because I had 4 flights, because I had a layover for both of them. Oh man, my fucking knee was busted. The other thing I learned about during my flight that is a personal thing, and I'm not happy with it, which is, you know, I play video games all the fucking. I work for a video game industry. I have a YouTube channel where I play video games. I'm a trophy hunter, and I have 264 platinums. I play video games constantly, and I can't play video games on planes. Like, I hate it so much. Like, I play them all throughout my life, and it's just like, I have a Steam Deck and a Switch. I brought them both with me, and I just could not play video games in the flight. I think it was like, I couldn't get immersed, which sounds stupid when I say it out loud, but it's just like, I just couldn't get immersed. Like, I was playing a little bit of Hades 2. I was playing a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom on, like, a new file on my Switch. I was playing a little bit of Paper Mario, the remake, and just, like, none of it was, like, sucking me in. Like, Paper Mario, for one thing, like, I just finished an entire playthrough of that. So, like, you know, the remake is great, and I do recommend it if you've never played it, or if you, like, want to replay it and you don't have access to, like, Dolphin or whatever. But, like, I just played through the entire game. I did it randomized, but I just played through the whole game, so, like, it just doesn't hit right now. I just, you know, I need, like, a longer length of time between playthroughs. It's not one of those games where you just immediately start a second playthrough. Or at least not for me. But yeah, so I just, like, couldn't get into any games. But then I just started watching because they had the TVs in the back of the seats. I just started watching, like, the on-screen entertainment. So first I watched Deadpool and half of The Dark Knight. And then I watched Shang-Chi for the first time. I'd been meaning to watch it and just never got around to it. And then I watched, like, half of Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther 2. And it's just, like, time passed so much faster. Like, when I'm playing video games, I look at my watch, like, at least on planes, when I play video games, I'm looking at my watch every, like, fucking 20 minutes for a 6-hour flight. It's just, like, it just doesn't work. Like, a 4-hour flight and a 6-hour flight were my longest flights. And it's just, like, it just doesn't work. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up with what I'm supposed to do here. but I did manage to distract myself by watching movies. So that was good. I learned that about myself. That's good. It does make me annoyed because I bought a Steam Deck and specifically so that I could play it if I like have to travel more and stuff like that. And knowing that that doesn't work anymore is pretty annoying. Like I didn't even really get to play in the hotel room. Like I think if I was on like a proper vacation, I'd probably play more, but I couldn't do it. It wasn't like absorbing enough, and like I just didn't have any time in the hotel when I was like working. I was working such long hours and getting back to the hotel so late that I just couldn't get into a game or anything. And that's the other thing too. I'm between games, and so like part of the reason why no video games are like jumping out at me is that I'm like nothing has sucked me in. Like I just can't stick with one. So it's been a rough time. It's been a little bit, but the trip overall went well, despite my bruised knee and my complaints about not being able to get absorbed in that. I also can't sleep on planes. I can't sleep anywhere. Like that's so bad. When I sleep at home, I sleep with a weighted blanket, like a cooled room, so either AC or a window open, even in winter, and the lights pitch black. So like I can't just I'm just not one of those people who can just like sleep whenever. And also, just to make it worse, I'm a light sleeper. So like if someone fucking bumps something, or if it's like something creaks or something, I'll wake up and not be able to go back to bed. It's awful. I'm very bad at sleeping. And planes are no exception to that. So it was the planes were a little rough. They weren't as bad as they could have been. Oh hey Knots 104, if you're watching this video, leave a comment. Also, if you're not Knots 104, leave a comment. How am I releasing a video every day and getting YouTube comments once every like 2 or 3 days? What the fuck are you guys doing? You've got nothing to say? Nothing? Right now, you're half an hour into a video on Digimon World Next Order, me talking about my adventures, and you've got nothing to fucking say to me? Are you kidding me? I'm kidding. Please comment though. I like it. I like getting comments. It's nice. But my YouTube viewers don't comment at all. I just throw my videos out into the fucking void. I can't trouble you guys for a like. What was I thinking? Trying to get you to comment. I can't do shit here. I'll bet you're not even subscribed. Just kidding. But what was I gonna say? So I get back on. I hope we're strong enough to beat this guy, right, by the way. He's doing a lot of damage. I didn't really think it would be that difficult, but I think I'm being surprised here. So yeah, I was there for 5 days. I ended up traveling on Friday. I left my hotel on Friday at 10 a.m. and I got back to my home at 1 a.m. and I spent 13 hours traveling. And it was not great. It was just mostly plane. It's also the time zone difference. Like I just lost 3 hours coming back from Pacific Coast to West Coast. And you know, it's just not my favorite. Losing just hours of time. I know I gained them when I left, but that doesn't count. It only counts when it's taken from me. Those are the rules. I don't make them. But yeah, it was a stressful arrival, but then the trip got better. And then I came back, but like even on Friday, like I worked that morning, or I worked like a little bit before I like went on my plane. And then, you know, plane travel counts as travel. And then, or travel counts as work. And then I had to answer some messages and stuff from when I was traveling, at like 1 a.m. my time. I was answering them in the Uber, on the way home. And I was doing, yeah, I was doing doing some stuff on that. And then Saturday, I just went right back to work in the morning. And I worked on Sunday. And I've been working like 12-hour days the entire week. Sorry, I need some water. I need to wet the old whistle. I've been working like 12-hour days the entire week. Like just basically starting at 8, ending at 8. And it's just it wears you down. I thought I was doing okay, but the thing that keeps getting me is I keep like wrapping up my day at like 6 p.m. and then getting a message at like 7 being like, hey, can you do a thing that's going to require manual labor and you going back to your computer to do actual work? And I'm like, sure can. I love being a helper. I was telling my girlfriend this because I'm so stressed and so like tightly wound, and I like cannot figure out how to relax. And like to the fact, like this is what I mean, where it's like I'm not recording videos, I'm not playing any video games. I just have like nothing to like. I'm like not reducing my stress in any way. And so I was telling her about that, and I was like, I did forget that like recording videos is kind of like therapy for me. Like I always forget that like it does calm me down because I get to just like talk about my things and just like air it out, you know, much like you would with a therapist. But instead, I do it for people or for strangers on the internet. But I just like it's just been a lot. Here's part of it. I think that like I could pretty easily have worked like normal shifts this entire time, but like I'm realizing that I care a lot more about my job than even I realized because I'm just like semi-perfectionist about some stuff where it's like here's how it worked without getting into my job. Here's how it is. There are things where I'm like, I could leave this the way it is, or I could take care of this tomorrow and it would be fine. But the sooner that I take care of it, the easier it'll be for me and for the people who are like relying on me for work. Because I have a lot of people who like I write policies for and stuff like that. So like the sooner I write a new policy, the better their job will be, or the better they'll be able to do their job, or the better experience it'll be. Because like I work in customer support, so the better it'll be for the players, which is another big thing. Like I try to hit that balance. And it's like I just keep pushing myself more to make it easier for other people, and I should stop that. I should just be selfish, but I can't. It's just not who I am. It's like I take pride in my work, and I shouldn't. I should just be worse. Like I said, I just can't do it. But is this when the Newmon reveal is happening, or is that not right now?
Got a second? Made my
Hagermon, Sukamon, Gargemon, Nanimon. Nice. So yeah, I've just been working really long hours. I'm just not really relaxing. Not really refreshing myself. It's a lot, and it's hit me. It's like I thought I was better at this. Like I thought I was better at managing my my time and better at managing like my stress levels. And then it's just like I've been going so hard for like 2 weeks, and it's just kind of all coming back where it's like, oh no, wait, I forgot I have to like be better about this, or I mess, or like it'll fuck me over. So trying to get a little bit better at that. And then I've got the stress of YouTube. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Judging from the views, some of you haven't, but just you get little snippy comments like this when I'm stressed. But I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've released a video every day for I think 2+ years now. That's over 700 videos in the span of like 2 years. I don't know if you guys have done the math on that or ever take a step back to be like, oh wait a minute, he has done that. But I do a lot, and not only do I do that, I try to have like a backlog for the YouTube members to like be able to watch ahead of time, and also just it's good to have a backlog ahead of time just so that it's easier for me to like pick the schedule and stuff like that. But I haven't recorded a video in 2 weeks, and I was already kind of running a little low before I left for 2 weeks, so like I don't even know what videos are gonna be on the schedule next week because I haven't fucking recorded them yet. And it's just like just another thing I have to do, and I'm just like and I'm just getting paralyzed with how much I have to work, and it's not, you know, I don't think it's good for me. I don't think it's good for you guys, but this has been helpful. It's been Yurimon. Where's Datamon again? I guess I'll talk to Yurimon. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things. Just need to air it out. I have some other stories that I like marked down. Those are the ones off the dome, but yeah, I don't know. It's just Just a lot, you know? Just working way too much. It should start to calm down. And I want to say more, but I can't. If it was a more traditional game that I was working on, then it wouldn't be as difficult. Like if it was, you know, if I was working on like Uncharted, or if I was working on Spider-Man, which are like, you know, pretty straightforward games, right? You got a game, you release it, there's some patches, that's all you got to do. There's not too much going on there. I know I'm lowering their discipline, but it's fine. But that's not what I'm working on. So, yeah. Trying to collect my thoughts now. So I was kind of been on autopilot in the game, but I'm like, I should vaguely know where I'm going and like vaguely do like the daily stuff. Trying to think of what else. So yeah, I have some games I could play. Oh, I guess this is part of it too. So it's just that like I just haven't slowed down. So today is Friday. I'm recording this right now. The time is 10 p.m. So I want to really date this for you. And at around like 4 p.m., a coworker invited me to karaoke at 8 p.m. So they gave me like 4 hours notice, and I was like, and internally, I was like, no fucking way. Absolutely not. I am so fucking fried. I am so fucking stressed, dude. I can't do this. But I was just like, so I actually, I think that's what I said. I think I was literally just like, oh man, I'd love to, but I'm just way too fried from the game launch. Next time though. But I'm just like, now I have to be like, am I interrupting, or am I like jeopardizing my like my status with my coworkers at this point? I'm like, am I only hurting myself, or am I making things worse for myself? You know what I mean? Just like you have those like internal thoughts. I don't think any of that's true. I think I'm doing fine, but it's just one of those things where it's like now I'm stressing, where it's like, oh man, what if they only invited me the first time and then they don't invite me again? But it's yeah, just wanted to share that I get stressed too. I'm trying to think of other details from that trip. Let me try and do that. Let's focus this on the trip. So I've gotten back in the habit of taking notes because I've found that my content is better when I take notes because I can speak to things a little bit better. So let me go through here. I think I've done some of these. Some of these are really, really broad. Hold on. Hold on. I think I talked about a lot of these in videos already. I haven't cleaned these. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, I forgot about this. I was in the airport store actually, here's a fun one before we get to this. So I had my food within a certain limit, which a limit that I just never went over. I had my food and my travel expenses covered because it was a work trip, which is a first for me. I've never done that before. I've never worked at a place that like pays for travel and like pays for food while you're out there and stuff like that. And that shit is fucking cool. But it is brand new for me. I want you to guess what the sorry, I'm trying to remember who else goes out. Is it just those guys? I want you to guess what the cost of my trip was that I got reimbursed. Between two flights, between a flight from Massachusetts to California and then a flight from California to Massachusetts. Both had one layover. A hotel for 5 days, and meals for 5 days. But some of the meals were provided. Like sometimes we went out to eat on I think it was Wednesday night. They took the team out to eat at a restaurant. That was pretty rad. It was a cool time. So try and do your best on what the total monetary amount was that it cost and how much I got back. I got back the entire cost. I should say that. I got back everything that I wanted to, or everything that I purchased, which is really cool. because I was pretty conservative. Oh, and also Ubers are covered if they're like to and from a work event, or like a workplace or stuff like that. All right. Do you have your number in your head? Do you have your number in your head? It was $2,500 USD, which like does feel kind of cheap when you like add up all that stuff together, but I don't know. It's cool. I'm excited to like just get that back. I know it sounds weird, but it's just like I'm so used to just like writing off my money the second it's spent, right? Because that's how money works. So it's gonna be weird to get that back. Actually, by the way, it was $2,514, just in case you guessed it. It was not as close as you wanted to be. Where am I going again? 9 planes somewhere. Let me find Euramon. But yeah, I guess I'm not gonna go into the specifics here again, but I'm like semi-tired, or I'm just tired in general. That's not semi, but I got a. So I was watching Summer Games Fest today. It was okay, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. It wasn't great. Like, there were some announcements there for some people who I'm like, I'm very happy that you got your announcements, but it wasn't for me. Like, there was nothing that I watched. I was like, oh shit! Like, there was like a couple here and there that I was like, oh, that'll be cool when that comes out. Like, that'll be a game that like I vaguely pay attention to or like watch the reviews for or whatever. But there wasn't one that I was like, oh shit, it's happening! Oh my god, blah, blah, blah. I was just, yeah. But after it ended, so this is at 7 p.m. my time. I got a request to do like a policy update and change because of like a known issue, and I was just like, at 7 p.m. on a Friday, come on, come on, please. I've worked 2 weeks straight, please. I haven't even taken a day off to like reset from jet lag. Please don't do no. But I just told him I would do it tomorrow morning, which means I will be working Saturday. That's fine. I plan to work Saturday anyway. But it's just like, I was just like, God, please, just let me rest. I'm begging you. But then there's like trying to like I said before, I'm like trying to balance that with like trying to be a good employee, and I'm like, I don't like, you know, would it be better if I did it right away? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't know who's even like around. So it's like, it's a whole thing. I forget why I brought that up. I had a reason, but I couldn't remember. What was I gonna say? So one of the things I started doing is I started writing down my dreams, and I have like 3 of these back to back, and I am worried. My dreams are very stressful when I see them all written out like this. Sorry, I was looking at my notes to be like, oh, what should I talk about next? And I'm like, I have like 3 different things that say like dream this, and I'm like, this, Jesus Christ. So the first dream I wrote down, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version, and then we'll probably wrap up after that. Actually, I've got like 1 or 2 other things, but we'll do that after that. This is the first recent stress dream. I woke up in the passenger seat of a moving vehicle, and there was no driver. Like, just in the passenger seat. Moving vehicle must have been going like 40 or 50 miles an hour. No driver. So I'm like, oh my god, we're like on a straightaway. So like, I'm on a straightaway. I meant we, like me in the car. Like, we're on a straightaway. And so like, I just like carefully get into the driver's seat and just like keep driving for a while. No idea where I am. I end up pulling to the side, and I'm like next to like someone's like house. It's like a rich house, and it's like getting dark, and I have no idea where I am. Like, I don't have my phone on me or anything like that, and I just sort of see people start to, like, I see like a dark figure like looking at me through like these big like glass like doors, like, 'cause like I said, rich house, and then I see the lights go off around me, like the like ambient lighting, and then I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? What do you mean? What was that? So then, second dream, for some reason, someone is visiting my house, and they have like a Great Dane, like a big ass dog, big Scooby-Doo dog, but like in real life, so it's huge. And I have like one of my like childhood cats for some reason is like there, but it's like scared by the dog. I'm like, of course it would be. And so like I bring them into the other room, and I go back in, and the dog is just like by itself. There's no one else there. And it just starts like growling at me, and I'm like, whoa, hey, what's okay, buddy? Relax. Like I'm good with animals. Like I'm not worried or anything. I'm like, whoa, hey, what's wrong? And then like I think it's like coming towards me, and it lunges at me, and I brace myself. I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight a dog. Like again, this isn't like scare. This is like fight or flight. And I'm like, I'm picking fight. Like I'll fight a fucking dog. It's fine. But like not unless they attack me. But then but they like dive past me, and they're like biting something like in like the doorway, not the bathroom doorway. So it wasn't my cat. But they're like biting something in the doorway, and it's like it's got like this like tar dripping down from its like mouth, and like in whatever it's biting. And then I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Why was the dog eating like a demon or something? What the fuck is happening? And like I'm just getting so fucking stressed. I'm like, what are my dreams telling me? Here's the last one, and this one is the most overtly like clearly my brain is not okay. I like when all of my dreams start with like me like waking up, where it's like this is just like the part where like my consciousness like remembers. I'm like I wake up, quote unquote, in a field, like a green grassy field. And it's like not quite, it's like afternoon twilight kind of deal, where it's like there's still a good amount of oh, Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. The mood is too spooky. You can't just be jumping out of the sky at me, guys. Come on, relax. So I'm just standing in an open field, and it's like a little bit dark, but not really. Like there's still some ambient sunlight, and in the distance I see kind of like an orange glow. And then it starts to get bigger, and then I'm like, that's a fucking fire. And it's rapidly approaching. And the fire, like, catches up. And, like, in an instant, like, the entire field around me is, like, engulfed in flames. And I start, like, running through it. And, like, a specific detail I remember as I'm, like, running through it is I'm like, there's no clear path through this fire. So I'm like trying to find areas of the fire where like the fire is like lower than the rest of the fire, like there's less fire but there's still fire, and trying to like leap over that and run through. And I'm like running through it. I managed to run to like a small town like nearby, and like the small town is starting to get engulfed in flames, and I'm like in the middle of like an intersection with like, you know, buildings on all sides of me, and they're all on fire. Cars are on fire, people are on fire. And then I wake up. I actually don't know if there were people on fire. I think I just like was embellishing a second there. But like I don't think there were any people on fire. It was just like I don't think I saw any. I think I saw people when I got to the town, but then they like disappeared. Like I couldn't see them anymore. And just fire everywhere. And then I woke up. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening with my dreams? What the fuck? I need to fix myself, because I need to like de-stress somehow, or I'm gonna end up writing a fucking Stephen King novel, because this shit is getting creepy. I want to tell you, all three of those dreams are true, and they happened exactly the way I described them. I still remember I didn't remember the Great Dane one that well until I looked at it, until I looked at my notes, but then I did remember it, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But the fire one and the car one I remember very vividly, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not okay. I need to... Man, I don't know. Something bad is going to happen to me, I can tell. It's all this foreshadowing. So yeah. Anyway, Slime Rancher 2 came out on PS5 today. If you pre-ordered, and I did. So I should probably play that. I did try to play Slime Rancher 2 on my Steam Deck, because I own it. And I was so I could prepare for the PS5 version. And I started it. I started wandering around. I went to jump, and I accidentally jumped off a ledge, and when you die, quote unquote, in Slime Rancher, it like you lose the entire day. And I'm like, I don't want to lose the entire first day. I'm better than this. So like out of sheer embarrassment, I closed the game, because I'm like, I've platinum Slime Rancher twice. Like I should be better at the basic mechanics here. Like this is ridiculous. So I felt too guilty. I mean, this doesn't really matter, right? What was I waiting on? Probably this one. But you know, not great. My past couple days or whatever. So I definitely need to relax. Part of it is I have a partner who I'm working on this with, but they were also getting fucking wiped out. And I've launched, I mean, this isn't bragging. This is just, I've been in my job for like 5 years now. I've helped launch like 5 or 6 games, maybe like 7, something like that. I haven't actually counted it. So like, I'm kind of used to this. Like I work like really, really hard for a couple weeks, and then like, you know, I'll take like a week off, and I'll take like some early days or like some days here and there. Like I make up for it. I want to be clear. This isn't like, you know, and a lot of this is like elective work, like I mentioned, where it's like I know if I do this now, it'll make my job easier later. But it ends up being longer hours in the moment, but to save myself from even longer hours later is the kind of mentality. But it should normalize pretty soon. But yeah, so part of it is that my partner, I let them take off, not let them, I very forcefully encouraged them to take Thursday and Friday off, and they did, and I'm very happy they got to. But then it just means that I'm just kind of soloing some of this stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's just tiring. So we'll see. I should probably have I'll probably take sometime next week off. I'll take either the end of the week or maybe like midweek or something, just to get my bearings, just to get back. And this weekend I really need to like work on like playing video games again. Not to mention the recordings that I'm due. But I think we can wrap it up there. Oh wait, I'll tell you one more thing on a more lighthearted note. So this is how my trip started. I took an Uber to the airport because I don't have a car and I didn't want anyone to have to drive me there. But I took that there when I left for California. And as we're getting to like, so Logan Airport it's a big airport. I would say it's one of the bigger ones. I think it's maybe like, I don't know, probably top 5 in the U.S. And that's not a brag. I don't own a Logan Airport. I don't give a shit about Logan Airport, but I think it's probably like the top 5 in the country. Like, you know, with LAX and in Los Angeles being one of them. O'Hare in Chicago is a big one. Is it LaGuardia in New York? I forget which one is New York. Like there's some big airports in the country, and Logan Airport's one of them in Boston. And like we're driving up there, and you have your different terminals when you if you haven't flown before, or if you haven't flown in the U.S. I don't know what I don't know your life, but you'll have different terminals that you go to depending on your airline. And so I was going to Terminal B. And the guy who was like my Uber, and this is my first time taking Uber because I was doing it for work, but like I usually take Lyft, and it doesn't matter. A lot of people do the same. Like you just take both of them. It's not a big deal. But like, so this is my first experience with the Uber, and like, you know, it's a work thing, and I have to get to the airport, and it's like, and this person was like, do you know which terminal it is? I'm like, I put it in when I took the ride. I don't know which one it is now. I can try and look it up. It's like, could you look that up? And he's like, I don't really do that well at the airport. Like, you know, they really don't want us idling, so you're really gonna have to just get out as soon as you can. I don't actually do Uber. This is just my cousin. I'm just doing it for his account. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And why are you telling me this? What do you mean? Why would you tell a passenger you don't do Uber? What the fuck do you mean? Like, it's like, oh, I'm just using their account. I'm like, don't tell me that. I don't want to know that. All you have to do is drive me to a place. Don't give me all this stress. I just thought that was very funny. One other thing I'll give you, because it's a short one, and I want to end it on a funny note. When I was in the airport waiting for my flight, because I got there 2 hours early because I'm an insane person. I guess I got there like 3 hours early. Let's be real. Or no, I got there like 2.5 hours early. Both times I had to go to the airport. I did that because I'm just so terrified of missing a flight. But I overheard a woman talking to, I don't know if it was security or if it was like an attendant or someone who worked for the airport or something like that. But I overheard a woman saying, that's right, I have it written down. Old woman, this is what I wrote in my notes. Old woman on the phone in the boarding area mentioned she got pulled aside by security because she forgot she had a jar of sourdough starter in her backpack. So she had, of all the things to fucking bring to the airport, in your fucking carry-on, a jar of sourdough bread, like starter. I'm like, oh my god. Here's the kicker. They let her keep it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why would an airport let you keep... Like, that could be anything. That could be fucking fungus or a virus or something. You're letting someone bring sourdough starter in their carry-on on the plane. Not a checked bag. Wild. Absolutely wild. That did, like... When I heard that in the moment, because I heard that maybe like an hour and a half before my flight, it did kind of, like, relax me a little bit, because I was like, if this woman got through security and managed to find her way to the airport, I bet I can find my way too. Where it's like, I have to remember every single person who flies, and I have to just kind of reconcile with myself, where I'm like, I am 10 times more organized than the worst flyer. I think I can make it. I think I'll be okay. And that's just general advice for flying. Like, if you're stressed about the airport and stuff like that, I want you to think about the kind of people who fly as well. And I want you to think of maybe the dumbest, loudest, worst person you know, and remember that they've probably flown an airplane. So, if they can do it, you can too. Hey, that's going to be the end of Digimon World Next Order Season 3. Also, by the way, we're a little late in the game for me to announce this, but I forgot to at the top of the video because I was stressed. You may have noticed this isn't a stream, and also my face isn't on camera or anything like that. The birthday streams did eventually end. It was 250 hours of streaming total, and it was 71 days. It went from December 20th to I think like April 19th or something like that. Maybe like April 21st. I don't remember the day it ended. But just in case you were curious and you made it this far. Like I said, there's supposed to be a randomizer for this. So assuming that I can get the randomizer functioning correctly, I'm just going to start a fresh new playthrough. And I'll try and do that soon. I don't know when. Like I said, very fucking busy. I just do not have the mental space to try and work and set up a randomizer. I'm pretty much just like continuing games I've already started right now, but soon, TM, I will be doing a Digimon World Next Order randomizer. I wanted to do it the second they announced the PC port, so I'm very excited it's finally here. That being said, I haven't looked into it at all. I heard about it, I think the day before I left for California, and I was like, why? Timing, that's so bad. But I should be doing it soon. So if you're watching this, I think this will probably come out on next Friday. I like to do Digimon videos on Friday. So if you're watching this and you made it this far, it probably next week. I don't know if it's not already recorded for members. I'm going to try and get to it when I have the time, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for letting me be my therapy. Thank you for letting me play one of my favorite Digimon games, just kind of like keep it in the background. It was a good time. I do feel a lot better than when I started the video. I like it, just talking through it calms me down. So even if you're like, Nick, I'm sorry you're so stressful or anything like that, or so stressed, blah, blah, blah. Just watching the video and making it this far, you're already doing a great job. If you want to do better, if you wanted to like go the extra mile, you could like the video, because that would mean that you like it when I just rant about shit that happens in my life, and that would be definitive proof that you like it. You could comment, ask questions or follow-up questions on stuff I asked, or if or just anything, just words of encouragement. Just tell me how much you love the channel and how much it means to you, because I could really use a boost like that right now. Or just subscribe. If you made it to part 5 or 6, where the fuck we're on, and you didn't subscribe, you're a bad person. Who watches 6 or 5 parts deep into a series and doesn't subscribe? At that, clearly you intend to go all the way at this point. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Also, I'm at 5,100. Let's get to 6,000. Let's jack that number up a little bit. Also, and this is truly the final note, Digimon is the worst performing of Pokemon, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! On my channel right now. Are you going to let that slide, Digimon fans? Are you going to let those fucking Yugi bros and Pokemon fanatics overtake my channel? Are you going to let that happen? I don't know what to tell you. You got to go back and watch all my other Digimon videos. Why does Digimon Adventure Part 22 have like 50 views? Are you not keeping up with your replay of Season 1, or my replay of Season 1 of Digimon through the method of a translated PSP game? Well, you should. Anyway, thank you guys for putting up with me. I appreciate it. I feel a lot better now, so thank you for letting me get that out. And I hope you continue to enjoy the channel, and I hope you enjoy the next video. Thanks. Goodbye. See you in the randomizer. Bye-bye.